Hi everyone. I thought it was about time I did another ukulele review. So today I'm reviewing a soprano ukulele, one that I bought a couple of weeks ago. Here it is, it's in this box. It's not an expensive ukulele, this one. It says on the box, classic ukulele, 21-inch classic ukulele and basic starter guide. On the side of the box it says natural wood body, easy to use guide, thin frets and lower strings for easy play. Right, that seems fair enough. Let's have a look at it. Well, the first thing that you notice is that this ukulele is a bright red all over. It's got geared tuners, which should make it easy to tune. It comes with clear nylon strings, and contrary to what it says on the box, the frets are thin, but I wouldn't describe the strings as being low. They're about 1/4 of an inch here, which is much too high. I feel actually that they couldn't be lowered because the saddle here hasn't got enough space. I can't take enough off that to actually get them low enough. So that's a slight problem there. Anyway, let's have another look at it. We've got the body. Now, natural wood body. What they actually mean is it's a natural laminate wood body. And laminate is just a fancy word for what we call in the UK plywood. It's a sandwich of woods that makes it fairly strong, but it doesn't help the wood at all to vibrate, so the tone will be, I would imagine, rather dead. Let's have a listen. Even on YouTube you should be able to tell that that is a very thin sound. But, as I said, it's not an expensive ukulele, this. I will tell you how much I paid for it. I paid just over £6, which is about $10. And you wouldn't expect much for that. I didn't even buy it in a music shop. I bought it in a supermarket where they sell mainly food. I think the problem with this instrument is it says on the box that it's a real ukulele. The problem with it is that it's so badly made that it isn't really a musical instrument. I'll point out some of the problems with it. One problem, I don't suppose you can see this on the camera, but the bridge is actually at an angle. And it's not at an angle for a reason. It's at an angle because it's been glued on incorrectly. The action, as we've said, is much too high. It makes it very hard to play. The nut here, very important to look at the nut on a new ukulele, is again too high. It raises the strings much too high above the first fret. Added to that, the nut, apart from being too high, is actually sloping that way, leaving a small gap between the fingerboard and the nut, and that's going to make it have serious intonation problems. Now, the frets are fine. There's no real problem with them at all. They look okay. There's no buzzes or anything of that sort, so the frets aren't the problem. The problem is the action is too high and it can't be lowered. The nut is too high, it can be lowered, and it can be moved further this way if I can be bothered to do it. But even if I do all that, the bridge is at an angle, and that would be harder to do anything about. Even if I got all that working and the instrument playing in tune, the sound is not going to be very good because it's not only got laminate back and sides, it's also got a laminate table, the top here. and that doesn't vibrate at all, so it doesn't really improve the tone of the strings very much at all. Even if we put a decent set of strings on it, perhaps some Worth strings, it's not going to improve the sound appreciably. Now, the tuners do work fine. There's not a problem. They're a bit stiff, but they work fine. More or less in tune. But when we fret the note, even if we hold it down lightly, here's a chord of C, it goes way out of tune. In other words, that note there, that fretted note there, is sharper relative to the, too sharp relative to the other three strings. Some chords are not going to sound too bad. Chord of F sounds okay. Chord of G sounds horrendous. Can you hear that it's very out of tune? So if we try and play a piece of music, any piece of music, using three chords, it's likely that one or more of those chords are going to be so out of tune that it's going to sound horrid. Let's try something. Not too bad so far. Horribly out of tune. Out of tune again. Terrible. I think this instrument is so bad that it's not worth the $10 that I paid for it. Even if you bought it for a child to play, it can never play music in tune. So, is it worth $10? I don't think so. It's not really any use as an ornament. It looks, to my mind, horrid. And it sounds terrible. If it were playing in tune, I could forgive the sound because it's only a very inexpensive instrument. By the way, it's even got a name. It's called, in case you should come across it, the Burswood. B-U-R-S-W-O-O-D. The Burswood. It says Quality Musical Instruments. It's made in China, and you'll probably find it all over the world with a different name on it. It's got no badge at the top here, so they can call it pretty much what they like and just stick a label on the inside. So this is one to avoid. Don't buy it. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.